Hello everyone, this is Tim Dodd. Welcome to the Believer's Faith Challenge podcast.
Thankful to give witness to tens of thousands, yes, and to the millions that believe it. And believes, and I believe that God's going to let me live to pack it until all around the world it's been circulated.
Hello everyone and welcome to the podcast today. This is the Believer's Faith Challenge podcast, where we report on the works of God all over the world as relates to the end time word. Greetings, friends, brothers, and sisters, and welcome to the Believer's Faith Challenge podcast. So happy to have you with us today. We've got a program today that we probably should have done before now, but this seems to be the time. We have Brother Darren Hoffman on the program, and Brother Darren is a very talented man in technical things, and he has been one of the primary, if not the primary, developer of what is known as the Message Hub. So we're going to have a conversation with Brother Darren Hoffman here today. And on the program today, we have Brother Tim Dodd once again. God bless you. Welcome, Brother Tim.
Thank you, Brother Mark. God bless you, and greetings to everyone. I agree with you. I think this podcast is long overdue, and we want to talk about the Message Hub today. The Message Hub has become quite extraordinarily successful around the message, as it has become the go-to site for translators and for people that are desiring to print books for themselves in the message. Currently, we have 83 languages on the Message Hub, and that number is growing. And we're able to offer messages in multiple print formats, as well as many languages have audio translations. And we have a special announcement today, in that we have just added 3 more languages to the Message Hub app. These are the Amharic language for Ethiopia, the Marathi language for India, and the Myanmar language for Myanmar. And on that note, let me welcome Brother Darren Hoffman. Brother Darren is one of the unsung heroes of the message as far as I am concerned. He does a lot of work in the background and has made the Message Hub successful as it is today, and accessible and useful, and God is certainly using it around the world. So welcome, Brother Darren, and thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
Greetings, Brother Tim. Thanks for having me on the podcast today.
Brother Darren, just by way of background, I think that we can trace the genesis of the Message Hub back to 2007 or so. Brother Biscoe had a vision, you could say, a desire to see the message readily available or instantly available to those who desired to print out a message book. And originally, the thought that he had in his mind took the form of a kiosk, and that was presented at the 2007 Missions Convention. But I think since that time, the thought has evolved, and the Message Hub has evolved. And why don't you just share with us some of the beginnings of the Message Hub?
The beginning of the Message Hub for me really began in 1998, when our church, Cloverdale Bibleway, published its first website. And there were 2 main aspects of that website. The first was making Brother Branham's audio available for anyone to download. As far as we knew, that was the first time that the message was made accessible on the internet and also free of charge. And the second aspect was to make the translated sermons of Brother Branham available in PDF format. And once we had the website done, I looked at it and I thought, the problem with this is that it's all written in English. So how does somebody who does not understand English access the site to find the translations that they're looking for? And that's when God put in my heart that we needed to build a website that was actually in the language of the translations. 9 years later, in 2007, I was part of a group of brothers that was formed to bring the vision of Brother Biscoe's message kiosk to a reality. And two of these brothers were from another church, and they were involved in building the prototype of the kiosk. And that same kiosk was what Brother Biscoe presented at the missions conference that same year. You know, Brother Tim, Brother Biscoe's vision has always been to get the message into the hands of the believers and in their own language. And the kiosk was just one way to fulfill that vision. But as the project progressed, we just realized that there's just too many challenges to fulfill that with the kiosk. There's issues with costs and time to market, logistics, and other factors. And that's when we decided that we needed a different delivery mechanism, and that's when we decided to build the Messagehub website. And when we made the Messagehub website available in 2008, it was the fulfilling of that thought I had 10 years ago that the website had to be in the language of the translations.
Now, I didn't get involved with missions at Bible Believers here until 2012. So there was a number of people ahead of me that began the work on the Message Hub and gathering translations and all of that work, and we thank God for each and every one of them. But I remember shortly after I got here that there was some discussion about putting together an app, and the app would be a Bible app, and our main thought at that time was the Chinese believers. And in a meeting, we had quite a discussion about how to develop this. There was a number of brothers in the meeting, and we thought about how to tackle this. I remember distinctly that you spoke up at that meeting and said, if we're going to do it for Chinese, we can really do it for any language that's on the Message Hub. And I think that that was a moment of inspiration and has led to many, many languages being available on the Message Hub apps, both the Android and the iOS. And we're just thrilled to have hit the number 38 this past week, the beginning of the year, and now have all of these languages available on the Message Hub. Brother Darren, why don't you speak to that original meeting and how that come about in your mind? And I know that you tend to get very technical with me, so try and keep it simple for those of us that are not technical minded.
Brother Tim, I'll keep it real simple for you. When inspiration strikes, you're taking a leap of faith to confess something that you've not done before. I knew it was possible, but I'd never built an app before that could support so many languages. But I knew if God gave the inspiration, then He'd also provide a way for me to accomplish what I confessed. And He did just that, and not only at that time, but other times as well. And inspiration has been key to many areas of the Message Hub and tells me that God is watching over this work to ensure it fulfills its purpose.
I don't remember how many languages we started up with on the apps. Perhaps you know that number, Brother Darren. I think it was somewhere around 13 or 15 or something like that.
Actually, Brother Tim, it was only 2 languages, and those were Chinese and English. And the reason for that was because we had to internationalize the app to make it adapt to the different languages of the world. And once we had the framework built, then it was just translated material that we needed to add other languages.
Yes, you're right, Brother Darren. It was actually only those 2 languages, but if I look at my notes here, I see that next year after we launched, we added Dutch and Russian, and then the year following, we added 8 more languages. So that's probably where I'm getting my number from, but you're right, 2 languages in the first year, and it was humble beginnings. And on another note, the apps themselves, or the Android app, I guess we could say, was not hugely popular. However, as people begin to understand the unique features of the links between the Bible and the Message, it's grown in popularity amongst ministers and amongst lay people with the ability to search the Bible or the Message, to be able to click on a link on a Bible verse, and it would take you to the place where Brother Branham talks about those particular scriptures, and also to be able to search the message in their own language, I think is one of the crucial features of the Message Hub app. And it's not a separate app for any language. It's one app, and people can download as many languages and compare languages together, whether it be English and their own language, or whether it be other languages that maybe might be French and I don't know, some other language parallel. But there's so many features in the app that are extraordinary, and I think it's just a wonderful, wonderful work that has been done.
I have a question, Brother Darren. I'm curious because I know how things develop with technology and upgrades, and sometimes there are things that are maybe dreams that could be done, and they are in the research and development phase for a period of time, and then they get rolled out. And the Message Hub, as we have it now, has been operating as it is for quite a while. But are there any new features in the works? Are there any things that have become possible because of the advancement of technology that may be added to the Message Hub in the future?
You're right, Brother Mark. Technology is changing, and keeping up to it is a great challenge. We're not just looking down the road at new technologies, but also current technologies that we haven't taken advantage of yet. Most people have smart devices, tablets and phones, not using so much computers anymore. But unfortunately, the Message Hub website isn't mobile friendly. And that's one thing that we're working on, to build a new site so that it is mobile friendly. There's also programming frameworks for building apps that provide a consistent user experience, whether you're on Android, iOS, or even the web. And we've taken this approach with the Message Hub app for iOS, and we'll soon be updating the Android app as well. And features that the Android users have been asking for years will finally be available to them. Finally, we're looking into artificial intelligence to speed up the process of linking the message text to Brother Branham's voice. VGR accomplished this quite some time ago, and it works very well. And we like to do the same for all languages so that people can read along with Brother Branham and the translator.
Brother Darren, I don't think that you realize the importance of the Message Hub now around the world. I talk to brothers in all of the countries that I travel to, and without exception, they express great appreciation for what is available to them on the Message Hub. Both the translators and the tools that they're able to use on the translation site that's behind the scenes, the brothers that use the artificial intelligence component that's run by Brother Kobus, the numerous believers that are just able to download the messages and print them on print stations, whether it be small print stations in their church or medium-sized print stations in a country, or whether it be Vision Books over there in North Carolina. We just thank God for all of that. And we just want to say thank you to you and all of the team that works with you in keeping this Message Hub current and accessible and very useful to the bride of Jesus Christ around the world.
Brother Tim, I'm very thankful to be a part of what God is doing for his bride around the world. It's a testimony as I hear, especially from overseas, of how thankful the people are to have the message in their own language. It's a tremendous blessing and encourages me to press even harder. And I guess I'd have to be in their shoes to really understand the full impact we're having on their lives. Finally, I'd like to thank two brothers that have been instrumental in helping me build the Message Hub app for iOS. And that's Brother Andrew Hoyer and Brother Jean Manasseh Poabo. Without them, the app wouldn't be available. I'm also very grateful to the Lord, who has given me the ability and burden to bring the Message Hub to where it is today and to where it needs to be in the future. God bless you, Brother Tim.
And God bless you, Brother Darren. Well, there you have it, Brother Mark, everyone else that's listening. Some of the background information, which is really long overdue, of what's happening with the Message Hub and everything that has gone into it. And we're very grateful, as Brother Darren says, very grateful to the Lord for his grace in allowing us to be a part of this great end-time move.
Well, Brother Tim, that was a wonderful interview, and for me to hear Brother Darren talk about the beginnings in 1998, it was actually 1997 when I first heard that there was a message, and I just had a couple of books, a couple of tapes that someone had left at my door, and being a classic over-researcher. I wanted to know more about this, and I was searching and found a place where I could buy them, and they were very expensive. And I thought, how in the world am I going to get my mind around this message that seems potentially very important? And it was at that time that I found the Bibleway website that had the messages available for audio for free download. So I was one of those people on the other end, one of the early ones that this ministry really made a difference in my life.
I think it's really important to understand that in the body of Jesus Christ, it is a many-membered body, as Ephesians 4 said, that every part of the body supplies to the body until the building up of the body of itself in love. It's a love for the Lord Jesus Christ in somebody that labors like Brother Darren to put the message into a certain format so somebody in a foreign land can study it, read it, listen to it, or whether it be a translator that's translating it in that country for their people, those that are laboring to provide the funds to do all of this work, the costs that are involved in the development of the software and the websites and all of that sort of thing. Everybody plays a part. But in the end, the body of Jesus Christ is built up into the image of Jesus Christ. Above all, let me not fail to mention that the greatest thing we have received in this day is the revelation of Jesus Christ through the end-time message that was delivered by God's servant William Branham. Gift and a great opportunity that God has put into our hands in this end time. This message did not come for no reason. It came to produce a bride in the image of Jesus Christ. And I want to reemphasize that everyone, regardless of the role that they play in the body of Jesus Christ, is important to this end-time move of God. So thank you, everyone, and God bless you. It's been wonderful to be talking with the brothers today about the Message Hub. Shalom.
Thank you for joining us on the podcast today. Remember, friends, the bridegroom will not come until the bride has made herself ready. She must be both called and fully dressed by the Word of God.
This is the Believer's Faith Challenge Report podcast. You can sign up for our email newsletter at Bibleway.org. Scroll to the bottom of the page where it says Newsletter. Fill in your name and email address and click Sign Up. In this email report, you will receive reports of the works of God in China, in Africa, in South America, in India, Europe, all over the world. We also publish a full-color paper newsletter 2 times a year, complete with photographs, reports, and testimonies from all over the world. The newsletter is free. Just request it, and we would be happy to mail a copy to you. You can contact us by email at info@bible-believers.org. That's info@bible-believers.org. Or you can write to us at Bible Believers, P.O. Box 128, Blaine, Washington 98231. That's Bible Believers, P.O. Box 128, Blaine, Washington 98231. This is Mark Aho. Thank you for being with us today, and be sure to join us for the next Believer's Faith Challenge Report podcast.